The North lives by its own laws. It doesn't explain them and doesn't argue. It simply tests who is able to endure them. The Union convoy was heading south, carrying Olav Risterne back to Astensburg. Formally, the trip had been successful. The agreement with the indigenous people was confirmed, supplies were delivered, no conflicts occurred. Everything looked exactly as it should when a system works properly. But the farther the North was left behind, the clearer Olav felt that something remained unfinished. White Smoke's words wouldn't leave him. When the indigenous people began listening to the land more than to people, it always meant one thing: the balance was broken. Olav knew the North well enough not to ignore such signals. In the North itself, winter continued as usual. Frost, snow, an occasional wind. Nothing out of the ordinary. In the Risterne house, everything was calm. Leora was sleeping. Vilma woke up, not because of noise, not because of the cold, simply because she felt that something had changed. Vilma was 17. She had grown up here among snow and long winters. She was neither a rebel nor a dreamer, just attentive. The kind of person who notices not events themselves, but the shifts between them. Leora used to say that Vilma could feel the moments when the world changes direction. Vilma got dressed and stepped outside. The settlement was asleep. A few windows were still lit. Smoke rose evenly from the chimneys. At the edge of the settlement, where the old indigenous trail began, she stopped. Wolves were standing on the snow. They didn't approach. They didn't leave. They simply watched. One of the wolves slowly turned and started down the trail. The others followed. Vilma stood still for a few seconds, then followed them. She didn't try to explain why. She simply knew that this moment could not be missed. Almost at the same time, deeper in the north, far from inhabited settlements, old mines began to come back to life. Mines long removed from the Union's official records. There was no electricity there, no drones, no automated drills. The work was done by hand. Simple winches, lifting frames, cutters, water pumps. Everything was rough, reliable, and quiet, without signals or emissions that Union systems could detect. They dug slowly and carefully, going deeper than official regulations allowed. They weren't looking for ore or coal. They were not indigenous, and not Union. Someone knew these places in advance and understood how to work without drawing attention. That was how the third force appeared in the north. Victor sensed the changes before any confirmation arrived. The dogs moved unevenly, losing their usual rhythm. White Owl stopped, knelt down, and placed his hand on the ground. He stayed silent longer than usual. "They're working here," he finally said, "and not for the first day." This meant it was no longer about thieves or isolated groups. Someone had begun systematic operations in the north. In Astensburg, Eric Risterne was signing documents. Another package, another optimization, another permit for exploration in the Narak Thai zone. Everything looked logical. The numbers aligned. Eric didn't know that the zone was already active, and that his signature wasn't starting the process. It was only legalizing what had already begun. By morning, Vilma reached the first indigenous camp. She wasn't stopped. She was expected. White Smoke looked at her calmly, without surprise and without questions. "The North has heard you," he said. It wasn't praise. It was a fact. Olav Risterne sensed something was wrong later, when the reports became too perfect and communication with the North too quiet. He realized that control wasn't being taken through conflict or open confrontation. It was being taken away carefully, almost invisibly. Now he faced a choice he had avoided for many years: remain part of the Union system or protect the North, even if it meant going against his own decisions and his own family. The third force accelerated its work. They didn't need just a resource. They needed access to what lay deeper. Victor received new coordinates. The task changed, not to destroy, but to understand who had started this game and why. The North was entering a new phase, quiet, harsh, without warnings, and those who knew how to live by its rules were the first to feel it.